Well, I think it's definitely time to get this plant in today. It's getting bigger and bigger by day, so we need to get it in, get it pinned up right. And I did mention that we were going to put it in that greenhouse where we've just took that big red cabbage from, because we only need a small amount of space, because this is going to be grown vertically. It's an ideal opportunity to get that plant in as another's just come out. The only problem with that is we have to leave that greenhouse door open all the time, otherwise it's going to get far too hot for all those cabbages that's in there. And the only space we've got is right next to the door, so we keep getting days like this where it's quite windy, and we all know that windburn can cause a lot of problems for your plants, especially delicate ones like these melon. But I've got a way to deal with that. I've got some of these polycard sheets from a greenhouse that got blew over during a storm a couple of years ago. Basically wrecked the entire thing, but I did save all these plastic sheets, so I knew they'd come in handy for something at some point. So we can get that plant in, and then we'll use that to create a windbreak. So although the wind will still be getting in there, it won't be hitting that plant directly and cause any problems, and we'll just put a few canes or something in to hold it in place, and that's job done. But first thing is we need to go and clear that greenhouse, give that area a little bit of a weed before we get this plant in. So we're going to pop it in just there where we've just uprooted that really big red cabbage. We've got a few weeds to sort out. Just going to get a quick weed, not going to go mad. I can do all that afterwards if needs be. Although some weeds, they just spring up all of a sudden, and next minute they're huge. We don't want that in there either. So we'll just get a quick dig over. Don't matter if we're putting it quite close to edge either. As I said, it's going to be growing up, not across. So we'll get this plant put in. I'll put it round about there. Dig a biggish hole for it. That should be alright at that. Get this plant out. No problems however at the moment, so that's good. I'm just going to get that straight in as it is, no too fancy, and then I'm just going to build up around it. And then of course we need to stand that up. It's no good laid on ground like that. And for now I'm just going to use one of these old shelves that we took off for a greenhouse stand. And we've got some metal bars as well that we can fix to that. So first thing I'll do is I'll just sink these into the ground. And we'll sink another one in about there. And then I'll just tie wrap that so it can't move. Put a tie wrap both sides. And then that's a quick and easy little structure. And then we can take this plant and just pin it up off the ground like that. As always, these kind of plants have got tendrils. It's not until now that it's actually going to have anything to grab hold of. So we'll just give it an helping hand. I'll just put one of those twist ties on there. It's going to stop it slipping back down. It should start and weave its way in and out of there now. But for the moment, that plant's alright. It's off at ground, that's all we need. We'll pop his label back in there. And now it's free to do what it does. So now we've sorted that part out, we'll set up that windbreak, because it's too close to the door and I don't want it constantly getting battered by those winds that have once again kicked back in today. So I'm basically just going to put that right there. It's away from that plant, and then put a cane behind it, sink that in. And then we can put a couple more in as well, just so we know that this can't go anywhere. I'll stick another one at this front as well. And that'll do. Now the wind can't get to that plant at all. Well, it's only a temporary fix for now, but that's going to do the job. We know that plant's going to be safe from windburn now. And meanwhile, these cabbages will slowly be getting harvested over the next few months. And then we'll be able to take that down and keep that door shut. Finally, we've got that melon plant in ground. It's got a bit of support to get it started off, and it's got wind protection also. So apart from a bit of feed, which we'll do shortly, we'll water and feed it at the same time with liquid seaweed. And apart from that, it's a job well done for Sunday afternoon. And it's getting very windy, and we have had threat of thunderstorms on top as well for this afternoon. So of course we've got a problem with humidity once again, which is always a bit of a pain for your plants. And while we're monitoring that one in ground, we'll keep his eye on this one as well, because we put that in that container and that one is staying in there. We want to see which one does best, if any. Meanwhile, it looks like we've got a bit of a problem with another potato container, to the point where it really seems like the leaves are completely dying back. I think I've only got one option with that, and that's going to be to harvest it. Although it does seem like some birds have been going around pulling the sticks out of these containers that I've wrote the names on. So a couple of these containers, I'm not sure what type of potatoes they are. So I'm hoping the second earlies, because if they are, even though that plant's not 100% ready for harvesting at the moment, we should still get a few little potatoes out on it, and anything's better than nothing. If you want to see what we get from that container, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.